Welcome back to a new edition of Berrien Birders. It's been rough in southern Michigan of late that winter has come early, and as evidenced by how few posts that I've gotten up, it's been hard to find some decent birds, so I was pretty happy to hear about a Cassin's finch in northern Michigan, only I think the second one ever for the state, and while a number of people have been missing it because it's not coming to a feeder, there were a bunch of Pine Grosbeaks reported to be up there, and some people are seeing Bohemian waxwings, and I thought, well, there's consolation prizes. So here was what I initially saw, a little streaky bird tucked into the back of these crabapple trees, and I crept in closer, and it turned out, sure enough, it was the Cassin's finch. This bird looks a lot like a purple finch. You can see here it has a very peaky crown. That stood out to me probably as much as anything else in the field. The bill is very conical, practically upturned. The upper culmen, the upper lip is so straight. A lot of people were talking in the field about that streaky back, and I'll confess that I think my eyes kept going to that crown. It was hard for me to see the streaky back in the field, but certainly in these photos it comes out very strongly. Another thing that separates Cassins from purple finch is more delicate streaking to the underparts. It's somewhat more siskin-like. You also see a lot of dense streaking to the throat. That's not something that any purple finch ever shows. That instead of having the strong malar, a lot of that streaking is even across the throat. The bird also has a bit of a white eye ring, which that's again a feature that really didn't stand out to me that much in the field, though in some of these photos and videos it does come up, especially here as it gets into the dark, more deeper into these crabapple thickets or whatever the vegetation is. You can see them actively feeding, that the Cassins and the Grosbeaks were feeding in these, whether they're choke cherries or crab apples, I don't know. They're not actually eating the fruit. They're chewing the fruit and just trying to eat the seeds. Here we actually have two Pine Grosbeaks trying to recreate the Peterson plate while bracketing the second state record Cassin's finch. This is not a view that you've seen in Michigan all that often, but the Pine Grosbeaks are very exciting birds. They're not something that we see in southern Michigan very often at all. You can see this big pink pig of a finch going to town on this presumably frozen, half-fermented seed, saying, I don't need this fruit, I just want the seeds out of it and my kingdom for a napkin. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you go about winter looking like you have half of a pumpkin attached to your face? Well, I hope you have good luck if you try to find these birds. There certainly are things around. You may have to drive 4.5 hours to see them, but it can be worth it. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the future.